welcome back. You're here with Homestead on the Go. Yes, I spell go in a funny way. That's how we do it down here in the South. I'm from Louisiana, so just thought I'd give a little flair to the name. So today I am going to finish something that I started a few days ago. This is something that takes several days to prep in advance and work with. So stage one, I took and I laid my milk out and allowed it to sit on the counter for a few days to clabber. I then on that probably third day at that point, took and put it into a bowl and strained it so that the curds and the whey were separated. I then tied it up in my cheesecloth and I hang it on my counter and I leave it there for 24 hours while it drips into a bowl. All the whey will come out. Then I open it up and I stir it up, and I use pink Himalayan salt, but you can use any salt. It's just my choice that I use on mine. I do put maybe about a tablespoon or so in it, stir it up, tie it back up, put it back on my cabinet to drain again for another day. And down here in the South, it's very humid. So sometimes it may take somebody only 2 days to dry this out. Sometimes it takes me 3 to 4. So it just depends on the temperature of my home as well as what type of year it is here. And so the humidity level is a big factor. So what I will say is I'm going to be making balls out of this. And this is part of the cheese balls giveaway that I'm giving away. So if you haven't liked, shared, or followed my page, please do so. I know it's new and I don't have very many followers right now, but it's just something that I wanted to start to try and educate people on several things that we do in our home. I have several people that message and call asking ways of making certain things. So I thought this would be a fun way of creating it and showing people so that it's always there and we can go back and learn as we go. That's how I learn too. I look at everybody's videos and I learn from there as well. So just thought that would be a fun thing. So first I wash my hands, of course. I've stirred this up to make sure it's dry. And I don't know if you can see very well, but it's crumbly, almost like a feta cheese right now. And the only thing it has in it is the salt. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna form balls and I'm gonna roll it up. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna roll it into these herbs. These herbs are optional as to what you want to use in yours. I do change it out, and today I'm going to do it a little different than I've even done before. So it's just something to play with. So I'm using a little bit of thyme because I like thyme, and this is a ground up thyme, so it's smaller and helps stick. I'm also using cilantro and dill. I just love both of those very much, so I'm going to use a little bit of cilantro and dill on this one just to try. Now, one thing I have not done before that I'm trying today is I'm gonna do pepper flakes. My family and I love just a little spice of everything. Obviously, we're from Louisiana and that's just a given. So I just wanna try it and see how it tastes. So far, these have been a big hit. Almost everybody that's tried them loves them. I have not had any complaints and asked for extra for them to take home. So I haven't had any trouble on that. Now I am just gonna give it a quick little stir. It's just a beautiful little, you know, a camouflage color. All right, so I have those in there. And really, this is just optional on how big you make these. Again, make sure your hands are clean because you want to have very little contamination, if at all, in anything that you're going to be preserving. And since I'm not eating these immediately, I want to make sure that these are a couple things. One, I'm making these as dry as I possibly can. That's why I do wait 3 or 4 days sometimes, because I don't want moisture to be in these. The reason being is I'm going to put them under olive oil so that it preserves them. I mean, it could stay about 6 months or so with no problem, no refrigeration. So I'm just going to make, like, you know, little balls with it. And then what I do is I just roll it into the herbs of choice. You can tell this is really dry because they're not sticking super well, which I'm okay with. Again, that just means I did a good job. So then they look like this. And I'm going to drop them in my jar. I'm going to make several of these real quick, just so I can give you a quick little video on it. I do have a couple already made, but I wanted you to be able to see it in action so that you actually could see what I'm doing. These are part of that giveaway. So I do have an Instagram and a Facebook. I just started them. I know it's not much going on there yet, but I'm trying to post at least one video every single day. And if there's something specific that you'd like to see me do, just make a comment under them, and I do not mind getting that together for you. And if you could like and share, I'll put you in that drawing. On Facebook, as of right now, my first drawing will be for a jar of these cheese balls. These much desired, much requested cheese balls. You can do several things with it. So I will say they have a cheese flavor. Obviously, it's cheese. Not a feta strong flavor, but a little more than just a plain Jane cheese. It's not just gonna taste like bland milk. It really is gonna have a flavor of cheese. And what you do with these, my girls actually take them and spread them on crackers and eat them just straight. I did have one girl say it was a little more pungent than she has cared for. So what I told her to do is smear it on a piece of, sorry, I just want like French bread, and make bruschetta with it. It would be delicious. You could easily take sun-dried tomatoes, prosciutto, or olive oil drizzle, things like that. So just smear it on there, put you like a sun-dried tomato on there, and then drizzle a tiny bit of the olive oil on it that comes from the cheese jar itself that I'm going to be sending that winter. So go on and follow, and I will do a drawing as soon as we hit 100 followers. And we're not far from it. I mean, we're only about 20 something. I'm very grateful for those that have already liked the page. So if you have friends that you may think that might be interested in it, just tag them to it and ask them to follow. That way we can go ahead and get that drawing, and I will put up another one for the next drawing. All right, I'm making a few of these. Don't fill the jar too full. Just keep in mind, olive oil is not cheap, and you do need a pure olive oil, like an extra virgin olive oil. You want it to be a good quality that you want to eat. You're going to use it. It's not going to go to waste. Another thing my child does, my girls love these cheese balls, so they're always using them in different ways. And one thing, we go to a restaurant, and it's an Italian restaurant where you get the bread and the oils and things. Well, one of the things they do is some of the restaurants, they'll put balsamic vinegar on a plate, and then they'll pour like an olive blend on it with some herbs, and then they bring you the bread out. If you've ever done anything like that, that's something else we did with these recently. So one of my girls put it on a saucer and put down a little bit of balsamic vinegar, and then took one of the cheese balls out and drizzled some of the olive oil and herb over it, and then she ate that with her bread, and she loves that. And if you're into fresh bread making, that's delicious. Not only do I make the sourdough, but I like just making like brioche bread and things like that as well. So, all right, so you can see I've now made enough to fill this jar. So what I'm gonna do is quickly wash my hands. Not so quickly. All right. And I am going to pour the olive oil on it. So this is the kind I use. I just buy the Walmart brand because, again, it is super expensive. So I bought the large one. It was like $20-something. But just for Christmas gifts that I gave out this year, I probably used 3 of these. So it's not the cheapest thing in the world, but it works well. So I'm going to just pour it on there. And I want to cover the top of the cheese ball. So that's why I said don't fill it too full. I probably put 1 too many cheese balls on this one. You see how high it is up here. Okay. So I make a few of these and close them up, and then they're good to go. So that, preferably, you should leave this, I say at least a week, just to kind of let it marinate, let those herbs really mix in there. You'll see that the olive oil will knock some loose and it will gather in the bottom. Let me see, I've got another jar right here from being done before. And you can see there's a pretty good collection of herbs in the bottom, but there's still plenty stuck to the cheese ball itself. And I put one of these really cool lids again that I love so much. I put it on the top of mine so that way my girls can scoop out one a day if they choose, or whatever they want to eat of them. They don't last long in my house, but they should last a minimum of about 6 months. So that's the way I make the cheese balls. I would love to be giving away multiple jars. I can do that for different things. One of the first jars will go out for when we hit our 100th follower. Okay, so get your name in that drawing. Go follow and like my page. Again, it's Homestead on the Go, Geaux. So that Southern Flair. And come back and let me know what I can make that you would like to see. I can break it down and do just about anything. I can go from sourdough to raw milk products. I also have a freeze dryer, so that's something really neat that we use quite often, whether it's candy, fruit, things like that. Anything that we want to make. I can even do different projects. My husband, he's a hunter, and well, so am I. I've been hunting deer for a long time, but he hunts all sorts of things, hogs and things like that as well. He's a trapper. We're just basic Southern homestead living. So if there's something you're interested in, just let me know. I'll probably get him on a few of the clips as well, so he can show some traps and things like that he does. As well as he just recently did me some European skull mounts on my 2 8-points that I killed this year. So I will take pictures, videos, and things like that and be posting that as well. If there's anything specific that you may want to see, message me and let me know. I don't mind doing that. I'm going to look into some classes for some people if they want to learn how to do cheese making, hard cheeses, soft cheeses, mozzarellas, things like that. Also butter and yogurt even, you know, whatever you want to try to make, we'll try to get that on videos and do some classes, okay? All right, so if you have any other questions, let me know. And if not, just go over and follow my page for more videos like this. Thank you.